there, everybody. Welcome to Vilma Live in LA. We've got an exciting, amazing episode for you. We are interviewing a lady who has been all over the world. She's been to New Zealand, London, Africa, Turkey, Germany, France, Spain, of course, the UK, and Hong Kong. Plus, of course, the United States, where she's currently based. And, traveling all over the world, she's learned so much about culture, about the people, and how rich the life is. And she sums it all up as, you can be whoever you want to be. Well, Kimberly Kleczka is an author, a fashion designer, a voiceover personality. She's also a producer, produces concerts, fashion shows, and also is a publisher of children's books. Plus, add to that, she writes songs. Yay! So we are so happy and so proud to be able to share with you the story of Kimberly Kleczka. And as she says, you can be whoever you want to be. So she's on the show, Vilma Live in LA. Let's welcome Kimberly Kleczka to the show. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. So lovely to meet you.
Yes, finally. It's like a year and a half in the making, is it? Or a year?
Oh, it's got to be. It's crazy.
But this is perfect timing. Perfect. So what was the first endeavor that you ever did?
My first thing I ever did that was artistic, first thing I ever did was work with the Miss America program.
Wow.
I was in my early 20s and we were living in Long Beach. I just hadn't been married to my husband too long. We actually met each other in Africa and then we got married in England and we ended up in Long Beach. And I was going through a course at John Rock Powers because I was studying journalism. And I thought, well, I better understand how to put makeup on and create the whole look and know how to work in front of a camera. And while I was there, they asked me if I'd be a teacher. And then the Miss America program reached out to me and said, would you teach our youth or our young women how to present in front of a camera, how to do their platform? And I then kind of understood a little bit about it. I became a Miss America judge. And while I was doing that, they said, you wouldn't want to have a pageant of your own, would you? So I ended up having Miss Greater Long Beach. And it was really fun because the first year we did the Keystone Cops because they used to do all the silent movies in that part of the world. So we had the Keystone Cops and we had, Greta Garbo, and we did the whole scene and we had the girls in these foo-foo outfits and they had these beach balls and it was just so much fun. So that was the first time I actually understood how to work the stage and sound and production and what have you.
Wow. Okay, so then you evolved into which art?
Then we ended up moving to New Zealand. And when I was there, I ended up working for an agency. And she worked a lot with, Xena Warrior Princess and Kevin Zorba, and Hercules and all that kind of thing. So then I learned that side of it, behind the scenes. And I started working with people in the entertainment business, packaging them, getting them ready. And that was the next step.
Wow. Okay. So this time you're in New Zealand. Then what's the next artistic endeavor, adventure, and where? Where in the world did you go next?
Next, we went to the Netherlands. And the Netherlands, I worked with the Miss Netherlands program, which was there was two parts. There was Miss Universe and there was the Miss America program. So I got to work with those girls. I got to package them and work with them. And while I was doing that, I ended up becoming a representative for LAMDA, which is London Academy of Musical and Dramatical Arts. So I ended up working with them. And that was really a lot of fun because I had about 50, 60 people I trained from youngsters right up. I used to do musical productions, theater. I used to write the plays. I used to bring in people that could teach them how to sing and people that could teach them how to dance. And I also managed a whole group of people as well. working with them. And while I was there, I was doing voiceovers, and I ended up, having the kids on movie sets and, managing them. So that's kind of what I did over in that part of the world. And
Wow.
help with the productions and help put Miss Fakising, which was a reality TV show, because we used to go twice a year to Turkey. So we had this reality show that we did and we put together. We went to the Netherlands, then we came back to America. We were here for about 3 or 4 years. And then I worked as a voiceover coach. So I had a studio that people would come to me. I would teach them how to do voiceovers, teach them how to get ready for the market. I was an agent. So I used to send them out on jobs and what have you. So I really focused on that, as well as being in the entertainment business myself. I was doing commercials, and I was doing some acting, and I was doing some voiceover work. So that's what happened when I came here. It was just a small, quick, in the States. We were there here about, as I said, about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And before we went on to our next journey.
Yes. Next journey is?
Okay. The next journey is we went to Germany. And my husband went into business with a German gentleman. And what I would do is I would help them put all their videos together for training. So it was soft skills training. So I teach people how to work in front of a camera, how to work a teleprompter, how to have an ear prompter, how to visualize. I would package them as well, what clothes to wear and makeup and hair and all this kind of thing. So I did that. We're in Germany, and we then went from Germany to France. And while I was in France, I ended up creating the first children's book, which was Klara the Cow. And that's when
Klara the Cow, because I was looking at all these children's books, and it mentioned Klara the Cow was. So how did that come about?
Well, we had an old farmhouse in France, and we had these cherry trees and these apple trees and what have you. And we had the cows right next to us. And what they would do, they had the little calves, they would try and pinch the fruit off the trees. And it looked like this cow was bowing. It was a calf, and it looked like it was bowing down. And so I sat there and I was writing this poem, because I've always written poetry. I've always enjoyed it. And I always told my husband that I always wanted to write children's books, because there's so many children in the world that don't get a chance to travel. But I wanted to educate them through the words and songs. And I never really had that chance until then. And he said to me, "It's now time you make it into a book." He said, "You need to take it." So I made it into the first rhyming book with a song. And that's how it created. That's how we have Klara the Cow, who knows how to bow.
Yeah, well, that is so nice. So from that, how many children's book have you authored?
I've got about 12 books out there. And in those books, I've got the written books, and they each have a song. But then I also have an activity book where they can do dot to dot, and they can color in, and they can draw, and they can find the numbers and the characters and what have you. And then also a princess book where it's got 12 princesses in it, which come from all around the world. So it's a multicultural princess book. And each princess has an animal that has a lot that brings magic to them. And each princess gives back to the world. They do something wonderful, and they don't need to wait for Mr. Prince Charming. That was what I didn't want Prince Charming. It's like, emancipated young, princesses.
so from France, where did you go next?
The next we went to Spain.
Mhm.
And while we were in Spain, we had a fabulous dog called Dobby, and he was
That's
a blue heeler, yes. And that is when I wrote about Dobby. And I thought I want to do a series on this dog. He's just amazing. He's a frisbee fiend. He loves to chase the cows. He loves to chase cats. So that's where Dobby came in. So I started writing about Dobby. And then I went to the UK just for 1 year. And in the UK, I created the first puppets for the children's books. So it was Klara the Cow, and then also a dog, and then Zag and the Dragon. So I found this fabulous lady, brilliant lady, who created, she made them for me. So that's what happened when I was in the UK. And I also was working a lot in the entertainment business there.
tracking your journey here. So from the UK, where to next?
Ni hao, ni hao.
You went to Hong Kong, or yeah?
Yes. And in Hong Kong, I then created my women's journal. I've always wanted to write a women's journal. And I created it with the butterflies, because I always believe butterflies are magical because they go through transformation and they fight right through those stages to spread their wings and be art in the sky. They are so beautiful. So I feel that women go through that. I feel that women have to wear many caps. They have to go through many different trials and tribulations. They fight hard to get somewhere. They fight hard for their family. They fight hard for their friends. They fight hard for themselves. So I created a butterfly with a woman's face on it. And I did the journal first. It was an inspirational journal, giving people inspiring quotes and also a poem at the back. So when they were trying to think about what they wanted to do, what they wanted in life, when could they start, how should I begin, how should I end, I created this journal. And then I said to my husband, I've always wanted to do this. I always wanted to have some kind of accessory, because when I was working with the pageant industry, these girls would have 5 suitcases with so much stuff in it. And I was like, why are you guys bringing all this for like 3 weeks? And it would cost them an arm and a leg as they went to the airport and they're trying to weigh all their suitcases.
Yeah.
And I always want to have it where you say, okay, I have a simple dress. How can I pull that dress together? How can I make 10, 15, 20 different looks with that outfit? How can I style? So that's why I wanted something like a scarf, an artie that they could put in, something you can accessorize with. So hence, this is how the scarves came about. And it was done in Hong Kong.
Wow. That was kind of the best place to have, because you can manufacture there. And because I grew up in Hong Kong, actually. So which part of Hong Kong did you stay at?
Discovery Bay.
I was going to say Disco Bay, yes.
Yeah, Discovery Bay, here we come. I love Hong Kong. I love the people there. I love the warmth. I love, people were just so kind to me. They were just wonderful. In fact, unfortunately, we had to leave because my husband had a great job that he had come back to America. But before I left, I had a chance to have Klara the Cow in China. And they'd actually reached out to me. They were going to make schools and they were going to do it. I was also talking to the lady who had one of the Chinese networks, and I was going to be doing a whole show on that and everything. But then COVID hit. So, as these things happen. Yeah.
Yes, I remember. I think that was kind of like the time that I got in contact with you, I think.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah. Almost to the end of COVID, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
So you went back to the US of A.
I
So
did.
this time East Coast, right?
Yes. I've now gone more into the voiceovers.
Yes.
And I'm now looking at getting an agent. I already have an agent in Pennsylvania, in Philly, but I'm now looking getting an agent in New York. So I actually went this week.
Yes.
And I met about 22 different agents, which is really good for commercial print, for doing film and TV, commercials, and voiceovers. So that was pretty exciting and interesting. And there's a market for me, so that was kind of cool.
Actually, there is a market for everybody. There's room, there's space for everyone. You just have to go and get it.
You do. You're right. Exactly.
With all that accomplishment, what have you learned about yourself?
I've learned about how amazing the world is, for one thing. I've learned about the beautiful cultures that are out there, and nature and the topography, and how remarkable people are when you reach out to them, and how people love each other when they understand each other, when they have an understanding of that culture and who people are. I've learned how to work with children and how to understand children more, because I felt that, people don't listen to kids. People don't listen to teenagers. They're so caught up in their lives. And a lot of times, teenagers are grasping. They want to be heard. When I was in Hong Kong, a friend of ours that we did together, we started a magazine called I'm Not Just a Cover.
Yeah.
For young women to have a voice. So this is what I really learned, is about having a voice. And when I was also in Hong Kong, I went to Korea and I became a publicity peace ambassador. And I realized that how many people are crying out to be heard.
Yeah.
And I did learn that. That was one big thing. And I learned how to be compassionate, how to love people, how to take that time for that person, how to put out a hand when they need it. When somebody's struggling and they need you to hear them. I learned that because I was with all these different cultures.
Yeah.
So you become more understanding with them and you want to be there to help them. So that was one thing I learned. And I learned also that you can be whoever you want to be. You set a goal, you have an inspiration for yourself. It's a big world out there and there's plenty of room for everybody. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They say that traveling the world and meeting so many different people and learning about the cultures is really the best education one can have. And thank you so much for being with me on Vilma Live in LA. And as always, I appreciate you. You guys are just so wonderful. And we will have more on Kimberly. Yes, the coming weeks. So stay tuned right here. And you guys can subscribe, hit the like, click there. We've got a lot of episodes to watch. Okay, so again, from me to you, I always give you a whole lot of love you guys. Bye for now.